friends. Okay, so yesterday you did a book walkthrough of Violet the Pilot, but today we're going to be reading the book. I want you to really look at our characters. That's what we're really focusing on. We have our external traits and our internal traits. Our external traits are what we see on the outside. These might be the character's hair, the color or the length of it. It might be the clothing that they're wearing, what kind or color. Their height, maybe they're short or tall. Their facial expressions, are they smiling? Are they frowning? Are their eyebrows pointed in like they're mad? And these are going to be the actions. For this picture, are they playing soccer? Are they kicking the ball? For Violet, is she flying something? Now our internal traits are what we feel on the inside. So these are the things that I can't see about you if I just look at you. I can't see if you're happy or sad. I can tell that you're smiling. I can't tell that you are brave. You might be doing something brave, but I don't know if you're actually brave. These are what goes on in your head or in your body. These are going to be our thoughts and our words, our feelings. Okay? So let's start reading, and we're going to be stopping and talking about Violet's character, okay? So Violet the Pilot by Steve Breen. So I see that she's smiling. Internally, maybe she's happy, okay? Everyone in town knew that Violet Van Winkle was a little different. For starters, she and her parents lived in an odd-looking house next to the junkyard her father managed. And while other girls were playing with dolls and tea sets, Violet played with monkey wrenches and needle-nose pliers. Violet was a mechanical genius. By the time she was 2, she could fix almost any broken appliance in the house. By 4, she could take apart the grandfather clock and completely reassemble it. Since she didn't have any friends aside from her dog, Orville, she would spend hours tinkering with things from the yard. Violet's parents were very proud of her, although they weren't too happy the time she put a lawnmower engine on her cousin's tricycle. Oh, man. Now, let's look at the word proud. They were very proud of her. Is proud an internal trait or an external trait? Yeah, it's an internal trait. It's something that we feel on the inside. We might show that we are proud by hugging her or by congratulating her, but internally, we see that we think that they're proud. The older she got, the more interesting Violet's creations became. Around the time she turned 8, she was building elaborate machines from scratch. And not just any old machines, flying machines. Her parents couldn't believe their eyes when they saw Violet zoom by for the first time. They were a little worried in the beginning, but they quickly saw that she was a pretty good pilot. "Careful not to hit the house," Violet's father would yell. "And put on a sweater," her mother would add. Violet used anything she could find in the junkyard to make her wonderful contraptions. There was Tub Bubbler. Look at that one. And the Bicycropter. It's made out of a bicycle. The Rocket Can. Look, what is it made out of? The Pogo Plane. The Slide Glider. And the Wingamajig, to name a few. Let's look back at this page. What do we see about this cat externally, on the outside? Yeah, they're black, white, the tail is sticking straight up, the mouth is open. But what do we think about on the inside about this cat? Internally. Yeah, they might be really scared. frightened that they're seeing something like this. Or maybe she's mad that there's this dog. Okay. Violet's engineering was pretty sound. The only real hazards were tall trees, piles of junk in the yard, and bugs in her teeth. Ew, we saw that yesterday and laughed. Kids at school would see Violet eating lunch alone and make fun of her strange books and greasy coveralls. Claude and Clyde Mulrooney were especially obnoxious. So see, they described her externally. She had strange books in her hand. She had greasy coveralls. She was eating by herself. What do you think she's feeling internally based off of these words? Maybe she's lonely. Maybe she doesn't care what she looks like to other people. We got this from the characters, or from the words that the author used to describe the character. Then one day, Violet noticed a poster in the drugstore window. Air show, October 20th. It read, "That's only 2 weeks away." Violet thought, can kids fly in the show? Is homemade aircraft allowed? That night, Violet sat in her room thinking about the air show. She knew it would be a good feeling if one of her planes won a prize. And maybe then the kids at school would be nice to her. Violet pictured exactly where she would hang blue ribbon. You see? She and Orville spent the next few days combing the junkyard for just the right materials. When they had collected a giant pile of stuff, the building began. One day, the Mulrooney twins happened to pass by. "Look, it's that girl from school," one of them said. "What are you doing, weirdo?" "I'm building an airplane," she told them. The twins exploded in laughter, then mumbled something mean as they walked away. Orville barked at the boys, but Violet just went back to her project. "Take it easy, buddy," she said. "We're too busy to worry about them." Finally, after days of hard work, Violet had finished making her flying machine. She named the magnificent new craft the Hornet. "Wait till the people in the grandstand see me flying this," Violet said to Orville. All right, let's look at her. What does she look like externally? She's got paint on her coveralls. She has tools in her back pocket. She's showcasing her plane that she just built. How do you think, though, that she's feeling internally? Let's base it off of this picture. Maybe she's really proud of herself. Like, look at the smile on her face. She's standing up straight. She's so proud. The test flight was a success. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Look, he caught her, or she caught him. On the day of the big air show, Violet took off, bursting with excitement. Her parents' faces had beamed with pride when they wished her luck, and she thought about that as she flew through the clear autumn sky. She calculated that the trip would take about 20 minutes. She would arrive just in time for the start of the show. Suddenly, something caught Violet's eye. In the river below, a group of people were waving frantically. Violet lowered her altitude to get a better look. A troop of Boy Scouts had run into trouble while canoeing. Violet knew she had to help fast. It wasn't easy rescuing all the boys, but Violet piloted the Hornet with careful precision. Oh, look. Saving the Scoutmaster from going over the falls was particularly dangerous. Violet dropped the grateful Scouts off at the hospital. Then she checked her watch. 3:30, she said to Orville sadly. We've missed the air show. She turned her plane home and sighed. It was a miserable feeling. Have her emotions changed? Has her character internally changed? Yeah, she went from feeling so proud and now is so sad. That evening, Violet had no appetite for dinner. She just went upstairs and sat on her bed. All of a sudden, she heard lots of noise outside the house. She and Orville went to the window and discovered that a crowd of people had gathered. Somebody spotted her. "There's Violet!" the boy shouted jubilantly. "There's our hero!" The Van Winkles stepped outside, squinting from all the flashbulbs that were popping. The press, the mayor, the fire, and police chiefs, even kids and teachers from school, had all learned of the rescue that day and had come to praise her. "Young lady, please accept this Medal of Valor as a token of our gratitude and esteem," said the mayor. And he gave Orville a new collar with a license that read, "Canine Hero." And from that day on, Violet's parents let her fly whenever she wanted. But her mom still made her wear a sweater. Which is on a magazine. The end. Guys, I really liked this story. This was one of my first times reading it to y'all. It was great, I thought. So in our story, our characters' traits, they changed from the beginning to the story to the end. These things might happen in a lot of books. So we have to pay careful attention to what the author is using, what words he's using to describe. And we have to pay attention to how the illustrator is showing the pictures, how he's showing that character. All right, let's get started on our practice. Good luck, guys.